Hello everyone and welcome back to Red Rock Chess. If you guys are new here and you just love chess, make sure to drop a follow and in the comment section put down what your ELO is. I'd love to know, and give me any tips and tricks that you guys are doing to improve your guys' chess skills. Well, today we're going to be playing 2 games of 10-minute chess with no additional time, and as we're playing I'll be giving you guys my thought process of what I'm looking at, and then you guys can learn with me from my wins and my mistakes. So without further ado, let's get right into the first game. So for the first game, we're going to be looking for opportunities to create development, give you guys an insight of what to look for. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe so you guys can learn more about chess, and also you guys can visit redrockchess.com to find some cool merchandise and some cool tutorials on how to play chess. So for this first game, we are going to be playing e4, just kind of centralizing our pawn a little bit to gain some traction. Our opponent decides to play the Sicilian defense, which is a great defense. We're going to be bringing our knight to f3, kind of to attack the center of the board. He plays a fantastic theory right here, just an opening move of knight c6. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing our pawn to the center of the board, kind of to attack. He decides to take, so we will follow that up by taking it back. He decides to bring his queen into the game, which is never a very smart move to start out the game. For a couple different reasons. You want to develop the majority of your other pieces before the queen. There's some counterplay that we can look into be doing right now, kind of like attacking the queen. If he tries to bring it out, we can just defend it with another rook. So that's what we'll be doing. We are just going to be bringing our knight into the game. He decides to bring his queen back to the b8 square. Not the most professional move by our opponent, but it is a certainly weird move. We are just developing our bishop out so that we can eventually look at castling right here. He decides to bring out his pawn, which is a good move for development. It also blocks in his bishop right here, so we'll go ahead and just castle right away. Don't want to lose too much on time. He is eyeing our h2 pawn, which is something that we do have to be aware of. And as we are castling, he decides to push our knight out. We will happily move this back. It kind of still applies pressure to the middle of the board, so not the worst decision for us. But another thing we could look at doing is eventually pushing our pawn in after we get some development going in here. We do notice that all our pieces right here have not left their original square, so before moving any other pieces, our goal will be to try and develop as much of those as possible. So he is starting to attack our pieces, which is what you want to be doing when you're in the middle game / beginning of the game. He decides to fianchetto his bishop, which is a great move. What we're going to be doing is developing our pieces to get into the game. For this first one, we are going to be bringing our bishop either to the e3 square or the g5 square. I'm thinking just particularly bringing it to this square right here, only for the reason of I have the opportunity to either move it to the c5 square or move it further along as well. So he is applying pressure to it. It is defended right now, so I'm not too worried about this right now. So what I'm going to be doing is bringing my knight to the game so that I can eventually push forward and start applying some pressure. So right now we're going to be bringing our knight into the game right now, kind of hoping to thrust my knight into the middle of the board and create some pressure for him. Something that I will want to be doing if he does decide to castle kingside is start to bring my pieces towards his king side right here and start applying some pressure to eventually create some checkmating tactic patterns. We still have a lot of time on the clock, so there's no need to rush either. He decides to push his pawn, which is an interesting move, considering that he still hasn't castled. So what we'll be doing is we could either just move our knight back to e2, or there is opportunities to like push our pawn up and start creating some counterplay. There is things called what's called danger levels, so make sure that you're looking out and studying what danger levels are. Particularly though, I'm not going to be pushing this pawn just because he has a knight and a queen defending that square, so what I'll be doing is I'll just be rotating my knight back to the other side of the board. He decides to capture that piece, that pawn right there, which is a really great move by my opponent. And something that I'll be doing to kind of see if I can get a pawn back or just apply some pressure is to be putting my queen in a spot that can attack his knight and kick it back out. And so what he's going to be doing is he's going to be defending that knight, and he decides to defend that knight with his pawn on the d5 square. Some things I could be looking for are opportunities to move my knight into the middle of the game. What I'll be doing though is I am going to start to get my pieces more centralized. My rooks are connected right now, as you guys can tell, but I'm going to apply some pressure to his queen right now with this move right here. He does have the opportunity to defend with his bishop right here, but we will see what he decides to defend with. So if you guys are brand new to chess, a great way to learn chess is to be playing timed chess to play real players, but then also playing time chess with 10-minute chess, taking your time to think about every single one of your moves. It really helps develop your thought process, opening tactics, endgame tactics. That is my personal recommendation for anyone who is learning chess, because it allows your brain to develop. And in this situation right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to bring our knight back into the game. It could be any which knight. We're just trying to get his knight out of the center of our board. Anytime you see that one of their pieces is on our side of the board, that is a bad sign, and we need to kick that particular piece out. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for where we optimally want our pieces. So right now we are going to be pushing this pawn. We don't want to see this pawn right now, so we want him to eventually take this pawn so that we can capture back with our knight, putting pressure on his knight right there to move out of the way. So our opponent is up a pawn, so we need to be very on the attack right now so that we can get our pieces back. He does decide to defend his pawn instead of capturing it, which is a good move. And what I'm going to be doing instead is I'm going to be dropping back with this piece, so now that I can eventually hopefully put pressure on his king if he does decide to ever castle king side. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start bringing my pieces back into the game, start getting some more pressure on the board, and if he doesn't decide to take, we'll be putting our knight on this side right here, starting to attack his knight. If he does decide to take, that'll be very unfortunate with mate in 1. He does need to look at defending his pieces right now, since it could look really bad for him if he doesn't. My goal is just to try and capture pieces in a way that is to my benefit. So the reason why I brought this knight out is only so it could make him think that it's free to capture, when in reality it is not. Because of checkmate, like I said, on h2 with the queen. This is what's called a battery, when two pieces line up together to force a checkmate. Right now, the only thing stopping it is the knight, and so that's why I brought this knight out to try and attack that. We do have 5 minutes left on the clock. he does have a time advantage of 2 minutes, so we do need to be aware of that, and he has a material advantage of 1 point. In chess, pawns are have a 1 point value, and so he is up 1 point of material because he does have that one extra pawn than I do. So what he did was he did defend his knight with his F pawn. He brought it up to defend right here. Great move. But what that does weaken is that weakens the center of the board right here. So I'm just going to be hopping in my knight real quick. And that also means if he does decide to capture my knight, I'll just take it back with my queen. And that does create a direct line of fire to his king, which is not always what you would want if you are the black pieces in this situation. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and create a lot of counterplay, bring our bishop, even look at bringing our bishop back and swinging it around to kind of like create some pressure right there. If he does look at taking this right here, I will just be taking it back and putting pressure onto this piece right here, especially if I could swing my bishop around and create some attacks on his king. What we don't want is we don't want him to bring out his rook and try and attack my king. So that is what we're going to be trying to not let happen in this round. Good move by my opponent right here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to either just take right here and then attack his bishop right there, or another option is to just drop back. But in this case, I'm just going to be taking that piece of material right there, and then I'm going to try and avoid bringing my knight to the outside of the board, because then he can just move it back, and then I'm just stuck in a bad situation. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to capture this piece right here, which means I'm going to try and drop my knight back so that I can eventually see if he falls for what's called a fork. And if he takes back with a pawn, I will just take back, since he is putting a lot of pressure on this pawn right here. And so what I don't want to be doing is I don't want to be pushing up this pawn either, because then that allows for his bishop to attack the weak b2 square that has no defender. As time winds down on the clock, we need to be making moves a little bit faster, so I'll be focusing more on attacking his players. Oh, that was a blunder by me. I did not realize that he could be doing this move right here, which does strengthen his center of the board. Something that I'll be doing is I will be moving my bishop a little bit back, if possible, to the e3 square, just to kind of get out of the way of my opponent. If he ever does decide to capture my d4 knight, then I'll just take it back with my bishop. Hopefully having the bishop pair in hand. Bishop pair endings are usually better in chess, so make sure to always try and get that if possible. We do notice that both our rooks have not moved on the A file, so we're going to be trying to create some counterplay on the A and B squares files. So interesting move by my opponent. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing my knight back. He is applying a lot of pressure to the center of the board. What that means is he's doing a really good job attacking the center of the board. What I'm hoping for is that he blunders this pawn right here, which is also a check on his king, which would be great for me, because at the moment he has a lot of central pawns right now, and that is not looking good for me. So I don't want his pawn right here in the middle of the board. I do find that quite annoying, so I'm going to be kicking that knight out, since that is not what I am benefiting from. I'm not benefiting from his knight being in the middle of the board, so what I'm going to do is kick it out. And putting this pawn right there is an okay move, not the best, but we're going to be bringing our bishop out, kind of like pinning it against the knight against the rook. So if he does ever decide to move that, then that is to my favor. And so what I'm going to also try and do is I'm attacking this pawn, which does allow me to gain some material advantage, which is what I'll be going for, hoping that he blunders that move right here. And at the current time, there's 3 minutes left for both of us, so this game will be picking up in pace a lot as there is no additional time on the clock. Well, if you guys are new to this channel as well, Red Rock Chess is all about the development of players and their skill sets. So if you guys want to see any type of certain video about the Sicilian defense, if you guys would like to watch like learning how to learn the Caro-Kann defense or the French defense, anything that you guys are struggling with in particular and just want to learn, drop that down in the comment section down below, letting me know what you guys are wanting to learn. That way I can make videos and tutorials exactly tailored to your guys' needs, and that we can learn and grow together. And without further ado, just make sure to drop a like on this video. It does really help out. And also make sure to subscribe if you do enjoy chess content. That also does help me out a lot in this platform. Or if you just want to check out some chess merchandise, make sure to visit redrockchess.com to see what products and memberships would benefit you and tailor most to your needs. And he is taking a fairly long time to decide what move he wants to make. I'm hoping that we can bring our bishop back and start attacking his king. Another great option is putting our pawn up and starting to bring our rooks into the game right here and starting to attack his king. And what we're going to be doing is trying to create a way to attack his pieces without imposing too much risk on our own. He does have 3 really strong pawns right here, so the strongest move that our opponent can make is probably pushing his e pawn right here, which he does not do, and I don't know why, but we will not complain. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be putting we're going to be sliding our king over just so that he doesn't have any available checks on our king. Always be on the lookout for random checks. That is not what you want to be faced with. There's 1 minute left on the clock for him, so he might be making a little bit more pressured moves. I'm going to be bringing this piece back just to line it up and to have it on target with the king. He does decide to defend, so what I'll do is I'll push my pawn up so it kind of attacks him. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be capturing that right here. He does decide to capture it back, so we'll just take it back with our pawn. Now we'll be bringing our knight into the game, kind of attacking his bishop right here, which is what we want to see. If he does decide to drop it back or anything like that, we'll just be pushing our pawn right there. It's an okay move by our opponent right here. Once he does take that back, I will just be taking it with my queen. If he does take it back right here, then I have my rook to also take back right there. This is a passed pawn right here, which is really great for us. So we are going to be trying to use that to our advantage. He tried to attack my pawn, which is a really great move by my opponent. We just need to be making sure that we are applying pressure, as he does have 15 seconds left on the clock. He does just give us a free bishop right there. Always be on the lookout for free pieces of material. And in this case, it's really important that we do capture that free material, or else he could use that to checkmate us. And that is a resignation by our opponent. We will be playing one more game, so make sure to stay tuned till the end of the video to learn a little bit more. I'm hoping that we get the black pieces, that way we can give you guys a good tutorial on both sides of the board. I don't know how your guys' Easter Sunday is coming along, but it's been a great Easter Sunday so far. Beautiful day. We'll be playing the e4 position again. Our opponent immediately plays the Sicilian defense. He is a very fast player based off of what we can tell. We'll be playing just a traditional Sicilian attack. We'll be bringing our bishop out and starting to develop our pieces. Something I just want to try and show you guys is what's called the fried liver attack. That's when you try and bring out your pieces to attack the king in a subtle, simple way. And we do decide that we want to be putting it. Okay, and so what he does do is he does try and attack our bishop right there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attacking that bishop back right now, defending it with our queen. So as he is attacking, that is a great opportunity for us to be applying pressure on him. And what we'll be doing, we'll just take with the bishop. That is just a free knight right there. And now we are still continuing to attack this piece right there. What that does do for us, we have this opportunity to check his king right here. If he does decide that he wants to attack that, defend that is fine. And this is totally okay, because once he takes, that is just a free rook for us in the end. This is not looking too great for my opponent. Once he starts to move his king, he has very little options left of what to do. It's mainly because he is moving so fast. My suggestion is that you guys always take your time when you guys are playing chess. There's no need to rush at all. Make sure that you're thinking about your moves and taking time to think about your every moves. His only option left for attacking my king is trying to apply pressure with the bishop right there. But unfortunately for my opponent, what I'll be doing really shortly is bringing my queen back into the game and using it to attack my opponent. And he blunders a really simple move. Hopefully here in a couple seconds will realize that. That's why you don't make moves as fast as you possibly can. So I will be capturing that queen, and after he does take back, I can just happily capture this bishop back if he does not move that in the next move. So a great lesson is to take your time while playing chess. It's not about going as fast as possible in chess. Just make sure that you're taking your time to learn in-game tactics, especially beginning tactics if you're new to chess. And it looks like that is a wrap on the video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment down your favorite chess player. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching Red Rock Chess.